I still remember the night my husband said the strangest words I'd ever heard. "Emily," he said quietly, "I want you to be with someone else." At first I laughed, thinking it was a joke. But his eyes didn't move, his voice didn't shake. He meant it. I stared at him across our dinner table, the candlelight flickering between us. "What do you mean?" I whispered. He sighed, leaning back in his chair. "I mean it exactly how it sounds. I want you to experience being with another man. I want to see you happy again, even if it's not with me." My heart skipped a beat. We'd been married for 5 years. Things hadn't been perfect, but I thought we were okay, stable, loving in a quiet way. So why would he say something like that? "Daniel," I said, forcing a shaky smile, "you can't be serious." But he nodded. "I am. I've thought about it for months. You've been distant, sad. I don't make you feel alive anymore, do I?" I wanted to deny it, but silence filled the space instead. He reached for my hand. "You've given me everything, Em. Maybe it's time I give you something back. Freedom." I didn't know whether to cry, scream, or laugh. Freedom? From what? Love? From him? That night I couldn't sleep. His words echoed over and over in my mind. A few days later, Daniel invited his best friend, Aaron, over for dinner. Aaron had been around since before I met Daniel. They'd gone to college together, worked on the same projects, traveled together. He was handsome, confident, and completely off limits, obviously. Until that night. As we sat around the table, I could feel Daniel watching me closely. The way he smiled when Aaron complimented my cooking. The way his eyes lingered when Aaron laughed at my jokes. It was unsettling. Almost like he wanted something to happen. After dinner, when Aaron left, I turned to Daniel. "What's going on?" I demanded. He shrugged. "I just thought you two should spend more time together. You've always gotten along." "Daniel, are you trying to?" He cut me off gently. "I trust you, Emily. That's all I'm saying." For the next few weeks, Aaron started visiting more often. At first, it was casual dinners, movie nights, game nights. But then, Daniel began making excuses to leave early, saying he had work or errands. So it became just me and Aaron. At first, I tried to keep my distance. But Aaron was easy to talk to. Charming, warm, the kind of man who actually listened. One evening, after too many glasses of wine, I asked him, "Do you think Daniel's serious about wanting me to be with someone else?" Aaron hesitated, swirling the wine in his glass. "He talked to me about it," he admitted. My heart dropped. "He what?" "He said he feels like he's losing you, that maybe letting you explore would bring you both closer again." "That's insane," I whispered. "He can't possibly believe that." Aaron looked at me sadly. "Maybe he's trying to set you free before you walk away." The more time I spent with Aaron, the harder it became to deny the connection forming between us. He made me laugh again, genuinely laugh. He remembered little things about me that even Daniel seemed to forget. It wasn't physical at first. It was emotional, a dangerous, magnetic pull I couldn't escape. Then one night, everything changed. We were sitting on the couch watching a movie when the power went out. The house went dark, and I laughed nervously. Aaron got up to check the fuse box, but when he came back, he looked different, serious, almost afraid. "I can't do this anymore," he said suddenly. "Do what?" "Pretend I don't feel something for you." I froze. My heart thundered in my chest. "Aaron," I whispered. He shook his head. "I know it's wrong. He's my best friend. But he asked for this, didn't he? He wanted this." I didn't respond. Instead, I felt tears rising, confusion and desire crashing inside me. Before I could stop myself, I kissed him, and the world fell apart. The next morning, I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. Daniel came home later that day, cheerful, oblivious, or so I thought. He kissed my forehead and said, "You look different, happier." Guilt ripped through me like a knife. For days, I tried to act normal, but something had changed. I couldn't unfeel what I felt. One evening, Daniel sat beside me on the bed and said, "You did it, didn't you?" My breath caught. "What?" He smiled faintly, eyes glistening. You and Aaron. Tears spilled down my cheeks. Daniel, He put a finger to my lips. It's okay. I wanted it. I wanted to see you alive again. I shook my head, sobbing. Why are you doing this? Why are you hurting yourself like this? He looked away, and for the first time, I saw the truth behind his calm expression. Pain. Deep, quiet pain. That night, I found him sitting on the balcony, staring at the stars. Daniel, I said softly, please talk to me. He sighed. Do you know why I asked you to do that? I shook my head. Because I'm dying, Emily. My knees went weak. What? He turned toward me, eyes glistening. I've been sick for months. The doctors said it's late-stage cancer. I didn't tell you because I didn't want you to pity me. I just wanted to know you'd be okay when I'm gone. Covered my mouth, shaking. No, that's not true. He nodded slowly. It is. I didn't want to leave you broken. Aaron. He's the only man I trust with you. I thought if you two could love each other, maybe I'd find peace. Tears streamed down my face. How could you do this to me? How could you carry this alone? He smiled weakly. Because I love you too much to make you watch me die. The following weeks were a blur of hospital visits and heartbreak. Daniel's condition worsened fast. Aaron stayed by my side, supporting us both, loyal to the end. One night, as Daniel lay weak in the hospital bed, he took both our hands and whispered, "Promise me something." We nodded. "Promise me you'll take care of each other." We both cried, and I whispered, "I promise." A faint smile crossed his lips. Good. Then I can rest. And just like that, he was gone. The grief that followed was heavy, suffocating. But through it all, Aaron never left. Weeks turned into months, and slowly, painfully, I began to heal. I'd sit by the ocean sometimes, watching the waves, remembering Daniel's words. "I want to see you happy again." It took me a long time to understand that he hadn't been giving me permission to cheat. He had been giving me permission to live, to keep living even when he couldn't. 1 year later, Aaron and I went back to Daniel's favorite spot by the sea. The sun was setting, the sky painted gold and pink. "I still feel him here," I whispered. Aaron nodded. "He's the reason we're here." I took a deep breath. "Do you ever feel guilty?" He smiled sadly. "Every day. But I also feel grateful. He trusted us with something sacred, love." I nodded, tears filling my eyes. "He did." Aaron took my hand gently. "He once told me that love isn't about who you start with. It's about who you finish with." And in that moment I realized he was right. That night, as the tide rose around our feet, I whispered into the wind, "I kept my promise, Daniel. I'm happy again." The breeze brushed my cheek like a kiss, and I knew, somehow, somewhere, he was smiling. After Daniel's death, life became a blur of emptiness and guilt. Every corner of the house whispered his name. I'd wake up expecting to hear his laugh, the sound of his coffee mug clinking against the counter, his footsteps pacing the hallway, but there was only silence. Aaron tried his best to keep me together, visiting almost every day, bringing flowers or food, reminding me to eat, to sleep, to breathe. But every time I looked at him, I saw Daniel's face in my mind, and it tore me apart. Sometimes I wondered if loving Aaron now was a betrayal, or exactly what Daniel wanted all along. Months passed. Grief dulled into a quiet ache. One morning, I got a letter in the mail. No return address, just my name written in Daniel's handwriting. My heart stopped. The envelope looked old, like it had been waiting somewhere for months. My hands trembled as I opened it. Inside was a single sheet of paper and a small key taped to the corner. The letter read, "Emily, if you've received this, it means Aaron kept his promise, and you did too. But there's one last thing I never told you. Go to our cabin. You'll understand everything." Couldn't believe it. Our cabin was the small lake house we used to visit every summer. It had been locked since his passing. I hadn't been there once. That afternoon, Aaron insisted on driving me. The road felt endless, filled with memories I wasn't ready to face. When we arrived, dust covered the windows, and the air smelled like forgotten time. My hands shook as I turned the key in the lock. The door creaked open, and the stillness inside hit me like a wave. Everything was just as we'd left it. The books, the photos, the old wool blanket draped over the couch. On the table, there was a small box with my name on it. Inside was a flash drive and another note. "Play this when you're ready." Aaron helped me set up the old laptop. My breath hitched when Daniel's face appeared on the screen. He looked thin, weaker than I remembered, but his eyes were calm, peaceful. "Hey, he began, his voice soft, trembling slightly. "If you're watching this, it means I'm gone. And if Aaron's with you, good. He should be." He paused, took a deep breath. "There's something I've kept from you, something I couldn't say when I was alive. I didn't just want you to be with someone else out of love. I needed you to be. I knew Aaron could give you what I no longer could. But there's another reason I chose him." My chest tightened. Daniel leaned forward in the video, his expression serious. "Aaron wasn't just my best friend. He was my brother." My stomach dropped. I turned to Aaron in shock, but his face said everything. He already knew. Daniel's voice continued. "We had different fathers. It wasn't something we talked about often, and we decided to keep it private. But when I got sick, I needed someone I could trust completely, someone who would protect you even after I was gone. That's why I made him promise to take care of you, not out of pity, but out of love. I didn't tell you because I wanted your feelings for him to be real, not built on obligation or guilt. And if you love him now, don't be afraid. It means I chose right." Couldn't hold back the tears anymore. Aaron reached for my hand, whispering, "I didn't want to lie. He made me promise." I turned back to the screen. Daniel smiled faintly. "You were my life, Emily, and I want you to live now, not just survive. So love him. Let him love you. It's what I wanted all along." "Play this when you're ready." Aaron helped me set up the old laptop. My breath hitched when Daniel's face appeared on the screen. He looked thin, weaker than I remembered, but his eyes were calm, peaceful. "Hey, he began, his voice soft, trembling slightly. "If you're watching this, it means I'm gone. And if Aaron's with you, good. He should be." He paused, took a deep breath. "There's something I've kept from you, something I couldn't say when I was alive. I didn't just want you to be with someone else out of love. I needed you to be. I knew Aaron could give you what I no longer could. But there's another reason I chose him." My chest tightened. Daniel leaned forward in the video, his expression serious. "Aaron wasn't just my best friend. He was my brother." My stomach dropped. I turned to Aaron in shock, but his face said everything. He already knew. Daniel's voice continued. "We had different fathers. It wasn't something we talked about often, and we decided to keep it private. But when I got sick, I needed someone I could trust completely, someone who would protect you even after I was gone. That's why I made him promise to take care of you, not out of pity, but out of love. I didn't tell you because I wanted your feelings for him to be real, not built on obligation or guilt. And if you love him now, don't be afraid. It means I chose right." Couldn't hold back the tears anymore. Aaron reached for my hand, whispering, "I didn't want to lie. He made me promise." I turned back to the screen. Daniel smiled faintly. "You were my life, Emily, and I want you to live now, not just survive. So love him. Let him love you. It's what I wanted all along." The video ended with his signature laugh, the one that used to make everything okay. For a long moment, neither Aaron nor I spoke. The air felt heavy, thick with memories and pain and love. "Why didn't you tell me?" I whispered finally. Aaron's voice cracked. "Because he begged me not to. He wanted your love to be yours, not something he planned." I broke down in his arms, sobbing until my chest ached. It wasn't just grief, it was understanding. Everything Daniel had done, every strange word and painful request, had been an act of love. He wasn't letting me go. He was setting me free. That night, we lit a fire in the old cabin fireplace and sat together, holding hands. The flames flickered softly, and for the first time, I felt warmth. Not just on my skin, but deep in my heart. As the firelight danced across the room, I whispered, "He's still here, isn't he?" Aaron nodded. "Always." Months later, Aaron and I returned to the lake to scatter some of Daniel's ashes into the water. The sky was painted with soft pinks and oranges, just like the sunsets we used to watch together. I whispered, "You got your wish, Daniel. I'm happy." A gentle breeze brushed against my face, and I felt him there, quiet, peaceful, eternal. I looked at Aaron and smiled through tears. He didn't want me to choose between you two. He wanted love to keep going. Aaron squeezed my hand. "And it will." As we walked back toward the cabin, I realized that love isn't about holding on forever. It's about giving someone the strength to live after you're gone. Daniel had loved me so deeply that even death couldn't stop him from protecting my heart. He left me a love that never ended. It just changed shape. And that night, as the stars shimmered over the lake, I finally understood what real love meant. It wasn't possession. It was freedom. It was letting go with grace and finding peace in the love that remains.